Hi, this isn't the first YouTube video I wanted to make, but it's the first one I had to make. And I just had to make a video because there is so much censorship going on with YouTube and other social media platforms that I just have to speak. I mean, I personally feel as our free speech as Americans and as people of the world is being threatened, especially with this COVID-19. They want to censor conversation and dialogue and discourse about the COVID-19. The coronavirus should not be a taboo subject that very little Americans can actually have a conversation about. And then what's even more upsetting, people that are the ones who should have a conversation about it are also being censored, which is the doctors, the virologists, the scientists, the epidemiologists. How are we censoring people who should actually be knowledgeable about this subject? I understand if someone like me was saying, go out and, you know, do this treatment and this will cure you. I don't know that. I'm not a doctor. I haven't committed a study. But when you were actually saying that even the doctors and the scientists and people who are studying this can't even speak out and say anything against the World Health Organization, I feel like you have stepped so far beyond anything to me that is even reasonable, that it becomes like, what is really the agenda? Because you don't care about what credentials someone has. It's just about if someone says something against the official narrative that is going on in the world. And that's just so upsetting, because we should always have healthy discourse. We should allow people to agree, because sometimes what one person thinks obviously is not always the best. And that is what basically happened in this case. I mean, when we first heard about coronavirus, their projections of how many people were gonna die, how many people were going to the hospital. I mean, it was a lot. Projections was like, I think in the model, supposed to be like 2 million. That's what was sent to doctors. And then here go an article that says that. But as you can see, none of that has panned out. None of that. I mean, they were saying that 5 million, I think I read one thing that said like 5 million people were going to die, 60 million people were going to get it. That did not happen. So obviously, before they sent these models out, they should have had other scientists, other virologists vet that. Because I feel now what's upsetting me is I feel like we've done all of this stuff to the country, upset so many people's lives, we put so many businesses out of business for a fraction of what was originally projected. So, you know, this is the things that really make you question our government and what is going on. Because it's just so, like, ridiculous that we shut something down that's only a little bit worse than the flu at this point. When I say be willing to have a discourse with someone, it's like I was having a difference of opinion about how effective masks were with someone. And they brought up the situation and they were saying, well, masks make you 50% less likely to infect someone else or be infected. I'll bring up the article here so you can see it. And I was like, well, send me your facts, send me the study, or what are you basing this opinion on? And she was basing it on something from 2012, 2013. Okay. So clearly your opinion's based on a study they did on another virus that is not technically the same as this coronavirus. So for you to say that to me negated her point. But if I had asked to see her evidence, I might have just chose to believe her and take a step, ask for evidence, even for my mainstream media. Like, I don't feel like they've given me enough evidence at all. Our government hasn't given me any evidence on why we're doing some of the things that we're doing. You can't go to church, but you can go to Costco. You can't go to, you know, the small mom and pop store, but you can just be at Walmart, or you can be at the grocery store. You know, you can't go to the beach. You know, a lot of this just makes absolutely no sense as far as I'm concerned. And I feel like our government officials, all of them, are doing a piss poor job as far as fully defining and helping the regular citizens understand why they're even asking us to do this. They just claim it's the data, it's the data. Well, what study are you looking at? That's what I want to know. I want to know, what actual data are you looking at to base your opinion on this stuff? Because I'm not seeing it. And a lot of people, scientists and doctors who have came out, they've said there is no study, or there is no factual scientific based reason of why we're doing what we're doing. So I just want everybody in the world to think about that and then do what you feel is best for you and best for your family, and go from there. That all to say, what I'm hoping and what I'm praying will happen now and more in the future is that we as a country can have a healthy discourse, talk about our difference of opinions without it becoming so insulting. I guess through this, what's really disappointing is I've seen so many comments of, these people are stupid, they're crazy, they're insane, very dismissive of other people's opinions. You know, I really feel like you need to vet what someone's saying. Listen. I do believe in listening. I'm always an open book. I'm always open to hearing someone's opinion, reading an article that they send me, listening to what they feel is the facts for them. Because I personally know I don't know everything. And our government, for sure, don't know everything. I mean, look how many times they've been wrong about things like with Iraq or this or that. So for them to say the WHO is the be-all, completely right about everything, knows everything, is completely false. I mean, just look at the crazy situation with people, how many people have been put on ventilators and who have actually died. I mean, there's just so much that we're not talking about in mainstream media. There's so much that's being ignored. There's so much, to me, that has become just propaganda. Look how crazy things are. Look how dysfunctional things are. Let's figure out a way to pivot this in a way to ignore facts. I feel like we've done that horribly in Michigan, where we have basically took the protests that we've been doing, I love Michiganders, thank you, and said, you know, who had tons of people out there, all different types, protesting, and tried to paint them in take the most negative aspect they could find in the people who were there, a small bunch, and then characterize everybody as doing this certain thing.
Our community is struggling. My husband is on unemployment for the first time in our life. And it's unwillingly that we're taking unemployment. We want to go back to work. We have employees. We have paychecks to issue. We have bills to pay.
Ridiculous. Don't fall into those traps people think. You know, to me, what coronavirus brings out in me that I love, and the people that I talk to, and the people that I love having a conversation, it makes us critically think more. It makes us search for information that we feel is truthful and is bringing new knowledge or more possibilities of what could be happening. You know, it's hard because no one absolutely knows everything. Nobody knows all the facts. And having discourse is about learning and figuring it out. You know, anything that limits that, you know, this is one of the things I loved about YouTube when I thought it actually did that. And why I would want to be on YouTube, and why I would want to, you know, talk to you out there, because I want to give you the knowledge that I have. And I hope all of us will take that into consideration. So that's my rant for the day. I hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.